What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cold-Hearted YouTube channel. I got a couple things that I want to go over today. One of them being I got some new stickers for the hot rod for the Cold-Hearted Camaro. We are going to get those slapped on the car. I'm going to show you guys the stickers. Let me know what you think about them. I think they look awesome. Here it is. So, in my opinion, it matches the theme of the car really well. So here they are. But I like the font, the way it's got parentheses around it. And the main thing for me was having the icicles look nice, and they look very nice coming off of the name. So I'm going to slap one of those on the back of the car, and then we're going to dive into what I got for the rest of this video. I'm going to give you guys some updates, and also for everybody who's new to this channel, so over the last 2 months, I started this YouTube thing, and I have gained 1,250 subscribers in the last 2 months. So the very first video I made gave a lot of background story about us, who I am. But I'm going to go ahead and do another one for you guys, and also lay out a couple future events that we have going on, just so everybody is up to date, and we can get as many subscribers in here as we can. But let me go slap that sticker on real quick. Big shout out to Kent folks for having those made for me. I don't know who his graphic designer was, but he did a great job on those. Also, I'm going to get some more name stickers made for this thing. Kind of match that design right there. But and might get a Memphis sticker made also. All right, guys, those stickers turned out awesome. I love the look. They rock, you know, the cold-hearted theme. It goes along really nice, icy. But anyways, so here is the background story, a little bit about myself, who I am, and why you should subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're into street racing, drag racing, no prep racing, just working on hot rods, anything along that nature. You should definitely subscribe to this channel, because there's going to be a lot of that coming your way. So a little bit about myself. My name is Austin Smith. My father is Anthony Smith. He is a Memphis Street Outlaws racer, and he is JJ's mechanic. So a little about me. I grew up around racing. From the time I was born, my dad had raced his whole life up until I was born. And I was thrown right into the racing scene at a very early age, and I took to it. So ever since I was a young boy, I'd always dreamed of driving my own race car, as well as supporting my father in all his racing endeavors. I get a kick out of, you know, watching him do good, being there to support him, the whole 9 yards there. But so let me think. I've been racing since I was around 7 years old. So I got started in a junior dragster. So it was blue and yellow and white and a little bit of pink on it. And when I first got it, the thing was a turd. It was like, of course, when you're 7 years old, you're not going to go fast. It was like 1290s or something, which was quick for a kid at the time. And I loved it. I was hooked. So I advanced quick. Next thing I know, Dad's buying a motor on 890s, and then 790s and 720s and blah, 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 so forth, so forth. So I had a great deal of luck and skill with the junior dragster deal. Me and a buddy of mine named Dylan Kick, which you guys will be able to see him on the channel here and there. He's traveling, working right now, so one of these days you'll get to see him in a couple of the videos. Yeah, we grew up racing those junior dragsters together, traveled the country. We both got pretty damn good at driving those things, cutting relights, judging the stripe, everything that goes into bracket racing at a young age. So doing that, I learned the fundamentals of drag racing from a very young age. And I studied it. I ate, slept, breathed it, everything I could do. I stayed in front of a practice tree to get my reaction times better. I dived into it head first and took off running, and it worked out good for me. So when I was 16, which you're allowed to drive a junior dragster up until you're 18 years old. So when I was 16, I decided I wanted to go faster. So I was getting a little tall for the race car that I had. Around this time, I was starting to peak 6 foot, so 180, 190 pounds. And we decided, instead of buying a whole nother junior dragster and building that to race for 2 years, that we'd go ahead, put together a big dragster and throw something small in it engine-wise, just to get me used to the feeling of a V8, the feeling of driving a full-size race car. So we did that. We ended up putting a 350 cubic inch small block Chevy in it that was as bare bones, nothing as it could be. Actually come out of a factory stock dirt track car. And we took it out to Memphis International Raceway. This is, keep in mind, I was 16 years old at the time, just got my driver's license. We go out there and I strap into this dude, not really knowing what to expect. Of course, being raised around racing and driving cars my whole life, I was comfortable in the seat already. Dad had given me the rundowns on the delay box, the trans brake. Of course, this is the first time I've ever used a trans brake, and several other things. So with that, we took it out there off the trailer, first hit, and my uncle drove the car just to shake it down and make sure everything was good, make sure it wasn't going to be a death trap. He takes it out there, off the trailer, runs like a 616 or something, which surprised us. We weren't expecting it to go that fast with a 400 horsepower motor, you know, but it did. It went a 616. I don't remember the mile an hour. That was some years ago. But then it was my turn. You know, I was ready. I jumped in that thing, and after the first hit, I was hooked. I'm talking about that. The feeling that thing gave me as a 16-year-old kid doing 100-something miles an hour in 6 seconds was unreal. So, long story short, we had that car for a while. I raced it till I was 18, 19. We went through 3 or 4 motors, different carburetors, different things on that car. When I ended up getting rid of it, it was running like 490s with an SB2 motor in it. Had a 427 cubic inch SB2 small block Chevy, super nice motor, probably made 800 horsepower. I think it did make like 780 or something on the dyno. Ran that motor for a while, and eventually, you know, I was a senior in high school, and at this time, I'm looking to go to college. So I go to college and I move away about a couple hours from the house, and I forget about racing for a while. So, in that process, Dad's down here doing his thing, racing, you know, doing his deal, working with JJ, running around doing the street racing stuff, and working on building his own car at the time. So he pulls the motor out of the dragster, throws it in a car, and he gets it running and everything. So the dragster got put on the back burner. And when I came home from college, I had a wild hair that I really just wanted to put a door car together. You know, had my fun in a dragster, never had drove a door car. So, you know, and that's what I wanted to do. So I ended up trading that dragster to Dylan, actually, for a 3rd gen Camaro that was a pretty notorious car around this area back in the day. It used to run some really good times at a local drag strip here. And, you know, it was a pretty nice built car. It was old, needed a lot of updating, needed a bunch of parts. So I figured it was in my best interest to use that car, and it being a chassis car, I wanted a back half car to do small tire stuff with. I ended up trading it for a back half 3rd gen car. But that car, it was nice. The cage, the car itself was nice. It had good bones. And I really wanted to keep that car and get it running, but I had this guy with a white 1979 Z28 Camaro hit me up looking for a car, and he wanted to do some trading. So I was open to the idea, and all in all, you know, I ended up getting this car you see today that I call the Cold Hearted Camaro, turnkey, with a 406 cubic inch small block Chevy, built for nitrous, a pretty stout Power Glide transmission, a Fab 9 rear end, everything ready to run turnkey for that car as a roller. I told the guy to bring it down, let me check it out. If it is what it is, I'd trade him. So he comes down here, unloads it out of the trailer, and I drove it down the road, brought it back. I knew there was a couple things wrong with it. It was running a little rough. But at the time, I figured it was something small. The engine didn't make no ticking noises. There was nothing in the transmission acting funny. The car sounded good. I killed the car halfway back down the road, about 40 miles an hour, just to hear the rear end, see if it was grinding. Nothing. It all sounded great. So I shook the man's hand. We loaded my car in his trailer, and I ended up with the Cold Hearted Camaro that you guys know today. But that's how I ended up with this car. Also, a little bit about my dad's car. His car is a 1972 Nova called Hercules. You've probably seen it on the TV show or out at some race. It's a bad girl. She's fast. She's heavy. She's an original car. It's not been pro modded, as you would say. Still got the factory front A-arms and factory front subframe. It still has A-arms on it, but they're tubular. And this car works really good. It's heavy. It's 3,000 pounds, 3,100 pounds, depends on the ballast we put in it for different surfaces. This thing has an all aluminum 540 cubic inch big block Chevy, powered by an F3 121 Pro Charger. No EFI. It's got a blow through carburetor on it, somewhere around 2,600 horsepower. And it gets down any street and any bad surface we put it on. So with our tuning ability, my dad's mechanicking skills, and the bones of this car, it works anywhere. So this car particularly, it's not like you see most people's cars. So all these Street Outlaws guys, most of them have chrome moly cars that were built on a chassis jig, this, that, and the other. This car is mild steel tubing that we ordered off of Chassis Engineering or something, and bent, welded every tube in this car with a MIG welder. So it's not as nice and fancy as some of these other guys' cars on the inside, but the bars are in the right place. They're at the angles that we wanted them for street racing. This car was built purposely for street racing. And as all y'all know, street racing, there's no NHRA cert. This car has enough bars in it to where it is very safe. Just because the tubing is not chrome moly, TIG welded, this, that, and the other, does not mean this car is safe. It's very safe, and it's very fast. So aside from that, I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown, a background knowledge of who I am, a little bit more about my dad. He's been working for JJ for as long as I can remember. My dad and JJ met each other when they were 15 or 16, and my dad's worked for him mechanic wise ever since, all the way up till the days of the Memphis Street Outlaws TV show started. And here I am. I'm in a good position to provide you guys a lot of behind the scenes content. A lot of the races that we do that don't get put on TV, I'm going to try to be there filming them. Of course, I'll be running my car in some of them. You'll see that. Dad's car in most of them, you'll see that. I can't promise you I'll film every single race because I have a lot to do at these races. But I will do my best specifically to capture the passes of Cold Hearted and Hercules as we go through these different races. That's about it as far as the background information goes. If you guys have any questions about who I am, why you should follow my YouTube channel, anything like that, or want any information on my father and his racing operation or my race car, just drop a comment below. Let me know. I'll answer any questions I get. Also, I wanted to let you guys know, I'm sure you're probably tired of me walking around with the camera talking to it and giving, you know, bits and pieces of me talking. Well, we're finishing to get back into the action. February 28th and 29th, we're going to Dothan, Alabama, Cottonwood Dragway for JJ's arm drop race. It's 10,000 to win big tire, 10,000 to win small tire. You know the deal, water burner only, chases a race, arm drops. So we'll be there. My car will not make it. I still have to get the engine put together for this thing. It's all just mocked up when I had the headers built for this car. But the block's empty. I got to get all that put together, get the heads gone through, yada yada yada. It'll be a little while on this thing, but once I get it running, we'll be hot and heavy. You guys will get to see everything from the rebuild to what happens when we race it, and hopefully the thing stays together. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to drop a link for the event below. I'll give you guys a couple pictures of flyers and other information about the JJ's Arm Drop Race. If you guys show up, you'll have a great time, I promise. There's a whole nother video I'm making specifically as an advertisement for that race, so you guys will know everything about it, and you'll be able to come hang out with us. So that's about it, guys. I wanted to just talk to you a little bit, introduce myself further, educate you guys and all my new subscribers as to who I am, what I'm doing, and what my plans are for this channel. We're going to film a lot of racing content, a lot of street racing content, a lot of in the shop activities, and any other stupid stuff we do behind the scenes. And I have my camera with me. I'll grab it, record it, and make a video for you guys. So other than that, you have a good day. You know, do a burnout, smoke some tires, burn some race gas, spray nitrous, buy your turbos, put a supercharger on the car, whatever. Life is short. Live it while you can. So other than that, guys, have a great day. Subscribe, comment, please give me a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it, and we'll be coming at you with some more content here soon.